This is WFYI News Now. It's October 8th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Purdue researchers prepare to investigate the potential site of Amelia Earhart's plane. Beau Bayh announces his candidacy for Indiana Secretary of State. And a team of clinicians who respond to mental health and substance abuse-related crises expands.
We're able to assist with people who do not necessarily need to be entangled with law enforcement because they're having a mental health crisis, as well as not flooding our emergency rooms at our hospitals.
Those stories coming up, but first. Wayne Township has chosen its next school's chief. Longtime district leader Shenia Suggs was approved in a unanimous board vote Monday night. Eric Weddle has more.
Suggs is the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources and has worked in Wayne Township schools since 1992. She'll replace Superintendent Jeff Butts, who's retiring to lead the State Superintendents Association. Suggs is set to start in January on a 2.5-year contract with a nearly $222,000 salary. The board says she knows the district from every angle after decades in classrooms and the central office. Wayne Township serves more than 16,000 students and employs about 2,300 people. I'm Eric Weddle.
In less than a month, researchers from Purdue University will take part in an expedition to investigate the potential site of the remains of Amelia Earhart's plane. Samantha Horton reports the decades-long mystery could finally be solved.
The investigative trip is a partnership between the Archaeological Legacy Institute, Purdue University, and Purdue Research Foundation. Earhart was an advisor at Purdue and used a Lockheed Electra 10E plane funded by the Research Foundation for her around-the-world trip when she disappeared. Expedition leader Rick Pettigrew says there will be 15 people on the remote island in the South Pacific for 5 days, so they're going to have to be entirely self-sufficient.
We're going to have internet connection via Starlink on both ships and on the island, but we're going to be on our own. We're not going to be able to go to the hardware store and get some spare parts.
If it is confirmed to be the missing plane, Pettigrew says work will begin to explore methods to retrieve the aircraft and bring it home to West Lafayette. I'm Samantha Horton.
Beau Bayh, a 29-year-old Marine Corps veteran and Harvard-trained lawyer, announced a run for Indiana Secretary of State as a Democrat on Monday. Ethan Sandweiss spoke with him about his plans.
The son of a governor and grandson of a senator, Bayh comes from one of the most influential families in Indiana Democratic politics. But Bayh brands himself as a nonpartisan, despite his party affiliation. He's running on an anti-corruption, anti-waste platform. Bayh took digs at current Secretary of State Diego Morales, who's been criticized for spending excessively on travel and a luxury SUV.
That's just what we know. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Day one, independent audit. I'll work with the governor. I'll work with whoever of any political party. It's time we clean up this mess.
The Secretary of State's main role is overseeing elections. Bayh wants to increase voter turnout by increasing early voting access and allowing statewide ballot referenda.
We are at the bottom of the list. The Secretary of State is to blame for that. We should be, within reason, doing what we can to increase participation among eligible voters.
The Democratic candidate will be chosen at the party's 2026 convention. Morales has already announced a run for re-election. I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
And for our final story today, a team of clinicians who respond to mental health and substance abuse-related crises in Indianapolis now cover about 2/3 of the city. As Ben Thorpe reports, the city recently expanded the team to cover the Southern District.
The response team started in 2023 and sends mental health professionals instead of police officers to respond to both mental health and substance abuse issues. It's now made up of 28 members. Andrea Brown is executive director of the clinician-led community response team. She says the team helps de-escalate interactions with community members.
We're able to assist with people who do not necessarily need to be entangled with law enforcement because they're having a mental health crisis, as well as not flooding our emergency rooms at our hospitals.
The team has taken roughly 2,000 calls from the community since 2023. Brown says the goal is to expand coverage to the entire city. I'm Ben Thorpe.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.